going extra potato-y today. That's okay. Natural you is beautiful! And I mean that. No, but for real, I am gonna wash my hair later. I just needed to film the YouTube video first. Hey kiddos, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today I'm going to be showing you technically another tutorial, but it's more like a thought process kind of thing. Believe it or not, I cosplay. I know, shocking, isn't it? But the catch is I cosplay on a budget, meaning that I tend to make my own costumes. I make my own props too. Okay, my Lightning McQueen head to toe, fully custom. My Fazcam, both my Audreys, fully custom. I made those myself because I didn't feel like paying for a whole prop because that can get expensive real quick. I use this technique called upcycling. I learned about upcycling when I was much younger, and I learned that you can make whatever you want out of whatever you want. I mainly focused on upcycling clothes. I learned how to paint pictures and make it your own. I made a lot of my own costumes when I was growing up. And today I'm going to be adding on to that collection of fully customized clothing, and we are stepping back into my Cars era. I am still in my Cars era, and I'm going to be adding on to my costume collection of Cars. Coming up on about a year ago, I cosplayed Sally, and it was actually a closet cosplay because I didn't plan for it or anything. I just did blue makeup, wore a blue shirt, put a blue streak in my hair, and then made a ton of audios, and I called it a day. But now I'm actually going to be bringing her back fully customized, and I'm going to show you how I make the main piece of her costume. I'm bringing this little car back, and I'm gonna be fully customizing her new dress. A big place that I go to whenever I need to like get new costumes or get new clothes, I actually shop there just for regular clothes, is ARC thrift store. I go to the thrift store a lot because most of the time I'll find a lot of great stuff that I will wear out without doing anything, and other times I will find great pieces for costumes. And one of those pieces is this dress. This is a fully denim wraparound dress that buttons from top to bottom, and it also has its own like matching belt. I really liked how this dress looked, and when I tried it on, it looked even better. I'm gonna put on a clip of it right here. This is me wearing the dress, and it fits so nice. Like, it's not too tight, it's not too short. I love it, but it's a bit too bland. So whenever I find a piece of clothing that works fantastically, but it just needs a little bit of a touch-up, I take some paint to it. Today, that's exactly what we're gonna be doing to this dress. I decided I wanted to make it Sally's pit crew dress. It's gonna be when she's off in the pit watching McQueen do his races. And I have a slight plan for it, but it's mainly just going to be a lot of patchwork, which is just pictures in random spots, similar to what I did to Lightning McQueen's jacket, where I had patchwork on the side of a bunch of stickers. That's exactly what we're going to be doing to this dress, and we're going to add a couple more little details here and there on like the pockets, and the back of the top part is where we're going to be messing with the most. I'm going to show you a couple of time lapses of how I paint it and explain my thought process because I have barely a plan for this thing. And this video is also to encourage you guys to start upcycling, because not only is it a great way to have your own line of clothing and express yourself in your own ways, it is also recycling. Hence the name, upcycling. Cycle, recycle. Same thing. Upcycling is honestly a great way to start or continue to cosplay. If you want to start cosplaying, but you don't want to pay for all of those really expensive costumes, you can make your own. You can just build it. My Seymour cosplay, built myself. My Lightning McQueen, my Mater, built myself out of pieces that I found at the ARC, Walmart, my clothes, etc. I started out with closet cosplaying. My very first cosplay, I don't have a picture of her unfortunately, but it was just my crystal crown, a scarf, and that was it. And I made something out of it. Another thing is my Dinoco t-shirt that I wore for my King-inspired look. I painted that entire shirt in one night. So not only is it super easy once you get the hang of it, but you can also, it's endless possibilities. You're painting whatever picture you want. By the way, I wanted to mention to you guys now, but if you are a mutual on TikTok, then you know that I have been building a new secret cosplay. And now YouTube knows about it. I haven't shown everybody else what it looks like though, only my mutuals have seen it, so. But just a heads up, this is not a part of my new mystery character. He's in the works right now, so you'll see him in a little bit. But on that note, remember, follow my TikTok because, yeah. So of course, mainly in upcycling, you mainly just do clothes and costumes, but of course you can also make your own props out of whatever you want. My biggest example is my spinning sun drop mask. Guess what that's made out of, guys? A Pizza Hut box. That is made out of just one Pizza Hut box and hot glue and a fidget spinner. That's it. That's all I used, and of course paint and stuff. But I didn't use any more cardboard. I just reused a pizza box, and it works great. It's a little bit fragile, but you know, you take the risks. And also very cheap. In fact, I didn't even buy the pizza, so it was technically free. Anyway, enough rambling on about like the art of upcycling, but you know, I'm very passionate about it because I do it a lot. And I'm just gonna go ahead and show you how I make this dress into Sally's new costume. It's gonna be a lot of time lapses, and of course I'm gonna voice over it explaining what I'm doing and how I thought of it. By the way, if you are inspired by what I am doing today and you want to show me some of your upcycled costumes, please do that. Post it to Instagram and tag me in it. I would love to see what you make because, like I said, I'm very passionate about the art of upcycling. It is so good and it's so easy once you get the hang of it. Yes, please post it wherever, tag me in it, and I would love to see your creations. Also, mid-episode call, we're going into the promotional state really quickly. Guys, don't forget, please join the Discord server that my friend and I made for this channel. We made it just to make like a big community of creators, especially if you are upcycling things. You can also post the pictures of the stuff that you make there, and I will see it. I will for sure see it if you send it to the Discord server. The Discord server is going to be used just to share each other's ideas and to just be one big community of creators. You make costumes, you make props, you make artwork, you make videos, send it all to me. I want to see it. I love seeing your guys' content, and I really like seeing a big group of people just showing their creativity out in the world. All right, let's just get over into the time lapse of me painting Sally's dress.
All right, so starting out with this dress, I obviously flipped it over to the back, and then I'm putting a piece of cardboard in the back just to prevent it from bleeding over onto the front. I would recommend you do this with anything that you're painting, by the way. You don't want it to bleed over and then it just shows up on the front. And then I'm using some white paint here to start out with the background. I tend to think of painting pictures onto like fabric, similar to stickers. So I have my reference picture off to the side, and I'm just putting a 95 in front of a lightning bolt, and I'm painting it all in one singular shape rather than adding it later in order to avoid any of the color mixing or just not looking correct. So I just paint it all in one shape. So there's the 95 on top of the lightning bolt, and again, sticker format. So you put the white base down first, and then that'll really bring out some of the color near the very end. And then I'm leaving this little gap here so that way I can see where the 95 actually is on the lightning bolt, and then I don't lose it, and then I don't mess up the shape of it or anything. So I'm filling it in with all of the white paint, and then I'm just dusting on like a slight layer of white on top just so it's not as bold. And now I'm going to be putting on the actual color. So I'm starting out with yellow, and that's some oily paint. And I actually decided that I wanted to add hashtag Team McQueen on it, so I'm outlining it with Sharpie since it is dark fabric. And then I'm going over it with the yellow paint, and it doesn't seem as saturated, obviously, because there isn't white underneath it, but I didn't feel like doing that, and that was also going to take a bit more detail. And remember, this is all kind of freestyled. I didn't exactly have a plan for this. But I'm just writing it out in yellow, and then I added a cute little lightning bolt at the end, hashtag Team McQueen, and then I went over it again just to get it a little bit more saturated. It's not as bad as it would have been. And then I start using that yellow paint to start the ombre effect on the lightning bolt. I'm going from yellow into red. So I'm starting out with straight yellow on the end, and then I'm slowly going to be adding red to the yellow to mix it to create different shades of orange. So there's like one dot of red, mix it together, and then start painting on the orange. And I do it at the top of the numbers now to slowly fade into red. And I'm blending it out just to make it a bit smoother, add some more red, and hold on a second. What just happened? Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. So turns out a lot of the time lapses actually failed and they stopped working. So some of the progress has been cut out because you can't exactly see it, unfortunately. But don't worry, I show you the end result. Just that's gonna happen a couple times in this video. We'll ignore it. But anyway, there's the final look there. A bit jump ahead into the future. I did the ombre for the lightning bolt, and then I added a black outline. I also added a bit of blue detailing because she's Sally and she's blue, but anyway, yeah, we're gonna struggle through that. So I'm continuing the blue outlining here all the way down the dress. I like to do that on the seams because it has a bit more of like a futuristic type of feel. I know that kind of clashes with the idea of, you know, Sally, but it adds a bit more detail to her and a bit more of that lighter blue color like she is in the movie. Oh, and there goes my camera. We're gonna ignore that. And I went all the way down the dress, and there is the blue seams, and now I just have to let this sucker dry.
Hot. I'm done.
All right, after that break, so again, like I said, a lot of the progress got cut out, but here's the front. I added some more blue detailing. I painted her name in the actual font of Cars, and I added some glitter on the collar. So now I'm getting to the button seams. I'm assuming that's what that's called. I know there's an official name for it, but I don't care enough to look it up. And I'm painting it with the white base, of course, but this time I'm not covering it with yellow and red. I'm actually going to be doing a checkerboard look because, again, this is a pit crew type of style. So checkerboard for the racing. And I didn't go all the way around because I really only needed it on the front piece. So I just blended it underneath the collar where you can't really see it. So I go all the way down the buttons with a lot of white paint. And I didn't paint over the buttons or anything. This is the hole that the button goes into. And now I'm starting the black checkerboard pattern. So I grab the black paint and I start very patiently going from one square to the next. You can use a thicker brush if you want to. I just like to use a thinner one so that way I can mark out where each square is. This checkerboard ended up looking a bit more rough than I expected, but it's okay. We're just going to ignore it and move on. From a distance, it looks way better. Again, with the cardboard, don't forget the cardboard. That's very vital. I almost got black paint on the inside a couple times. Don't miss that. Don't miss that one. So now I'm just making my way down. And a quick little PSA, this is acrylic paint. Most of the time I wouldn't recommend you use acrylic paint because it's not exactly like washer-proof. You can wash it off, and I don't like that about my other creations, meaning that I can't wash them. I have to take very good care of them. So I would recommend you use fabric paint. I just used acrylic because it's much easier going on and it's much more pigmented. But you know, take whatever risks you want. It's completely up to you on how you want to make your projects, but this entire thing is used with acrylic paint. Fabric paint can be a bit more touchy, so it just depends on what brand you get. I have used fabric paint several times, but my Lightning McQueen t-shirt is also straight up just acrylic paint. So it just depends on how often that you wear this. This is only for videos and maybe a convention or two, so I'm not really going to have to worry about washing it too much. But yeah, just a little PSA, if you plan on using any sort of paint on clothes and you want to wash them, please use fabric paint because acrylic will just come right off and you'll have to repaint your design each and every time. Almost each and every time. I've gotten away with accidentally washing my stuff a couple of times. But anyway, there is the seam with the checkerboard pattern. I think it looks very, very nice. Mission successful.
Whoa, and we're back, and I have much softer, less oily hair now. Look at that. I just took a shower. You guys like those fancy time lapses? And you like the fact that a lot of them most likely failed and they froze?
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get in.
I'll get better, I promise. This is a learning experience. I haven't been on YouTube for very long. Cut me some slack. But anyway, here's the final look of Sally's dress. I really like how it came out, and I should like how it came out. It took me like 6 hours to paint. The back ended up looking a bit more pastel than I would have appreciated, but hey, I still like it. Hashtag Team McQueen, buddy. Look, there he is. I think it came out really nice, and I hope you guys like it too, because again, 6 hours. Again, this is just serving as a reminder. Upcycling is a great way to start cosplaying. You can make your own stuff, you can customize it, and it's recycling is what it is. Buying completely new and homemade cosplays can get really expensive, when making your own homemade cosplays can stay within a budget way easier. Just a reminder, guys, before you think about going and buying those expensive cosplays and purchasing all of those different tools and things, just think about what you can use before you make all those purchases. There's always a less expensive alternative. It's a good way to learn how to save money and how to shop in the future if you're still learning how to buy things and if you're still a youngin' like me. So the next time you want to cosplay a character, maybe just jump over to your nearest thrift store, grab some paint, even if it's acrylic. I wouldn't recommend it, but I use it too, so it's fine. And then make that cosplay yourself. It's much more worth it in the end when you made it yourself. And of course, the more practice you get, the cooler things that you can make. You can start by simply painting a picture on a t-shirt, and soon you'll be able to make full-size functional props. Hopefully I can make a new Audrey 2 puppet that's more functional and less semicircle. But again, first time for everything. At least I have a puppet. I made it myself. Anyway, kiddos, that about wraps up today's video. I know it was a bit more out of the blue, but I don't really have a structure on this channel. We kind of just do whatever we want. We're having fun expressing our creativity. That's the point of this. Be sure to check out my last video, which of course was another episode of Thinking Like a Taurus. I called it I Scream, You Scream, We All Scream for Cardboard. I kind of winged it during that, but it's still a pretty good episode, I think. And keep an eye out for next episode because I have some pretty interesting stories lined up for that one. And of course, if you get bored waiting for my next YouTube video, you can go ahead and check me out on my other socials, TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter, all at Uni Cosplays. You should know my handle by now, but I still do this. And some more promotional stuff. I would highly recommend you go check out the Discord server that my friend and I made because it's very important. The Discord server is really important to me because I just want to make it a really big community of creators where we can give each other ideas and express ourselves and just be one big creative community. And you can also interact with me and give me cosplay ideas, YouTube ideas, fan art if you're into that. Whatever you want, it's just a big community for each other. Losing my voice here. It's so cold outside that I totally got ick yesterday. And as usual, remember kiddos, drink your water, eat your meals, get some good sleep, and I will see you in the next one, okay? Take care of yourselves. Love you. Bee smack my camera. Whack!
This is so dumb. Not just for kids. This is so dumb. But they're so good.